Hello again, everybody. This is the Baseball Prints on Baseball Collectibles. Back again, showing you some of my recent pickups. I'm just going to get right into it. Once again, these are all, for the most part, eBay auction purchases. All right, I'm going to start off with what you've already seen, just a handful of cards. So again, I like to start off with some cards from previous videos. Just to kind of show you what I like and some of the bigger hits that you may have missed on other videos. Check those videos out as well. Let's start off with a dual autograph of Willie McCovey and Jim Thome, Upper Deck Premier Pairings at a 25. This is out of 2007. Okay. Next, we have a Mike Trout out of Bowman Sterling to 99. Still in its original eBay authentication, PSA 9. Okay. We have a on-card tribute, on-card auto Bobby Witt to 25 with the double colored patch. All right. Here's a special one. Real quick, let's pop it open. This is a Whitey Ford with 8 patches, a 101. All right, out of Sterling. All right. The chairman, 101. Mike Piazza out of Diamond Icons, on-card auto with the Dodger uniform, number to 25. Joe Montana out of Flawless with the dual patch to 25. All right, and there's a Roy Halladay at a 99 SP PSA 9. It's a big card. All right, next, let's get started with, like I said, I like to collect sets. I like to collect different things. Here is what a little bit of different things I'm working on. I'm going to start off with that, and then we'll go into some other stuff. So here are a couple auto rookies, okay? We have the McGuire 87 Beckett Authentic. And then the Dawson, what was that, 83? What's his rookie card year? 77. Andre Dawson, okay, rookie autograph. So it's pretty cool. And then here's just, again, more in-person autographs, authenticated non-rookies. But 65 batting leaders, Tony Oliva with Brooks Robinson. No Elson Howard on that, of course. Here's a 61 strikeout leader, Don Drysdale, with in a nice pen. I like the pen on that card. All right, PSA. Here is a 68 pitching leaders, all right, wins, Jim Bunning, PSA Authentic. An 83 Tim Raines All-Star autograph. And look at these two Allen and Ginters, 2020 McGuire, 2022 Thomas. Again, both not pack pulled, but autographed and then authenticated. Next, we have to add to my Sweet Spot collection. All right, I like these Sweet Spot autographs a lot. All right, here we start off with Aubrey Huff to 135. Scott Kazmir to 350. Mets traded him for Victor Zambrano, I believe. It's a bad trade. Jeff Neiman, again, 3 Rays back-to-back to 350. There's Adrian Gonzalez on a piece of a glove, Sweet Spot. Okay. And there's Dontrell Willis to 73 with a red pen. That's pretty cool. Next, all right, let's move on. More Sweet Spot. All right, Roy Oswalt to 10. Dave Stewart. All right. Carney Lansford on the glove to 50. Al Oliver with the yellow pen, gold pen to 175. Tommy Heinrich to 100 on the Yankee Great Sweet Spot Classic. Jack Morris with the, looks like maybe gold pen to 175. Jim Bunning to 175. Jim Palmer to 200. Juan Marichal to 124. Okay. Next, we have the Museum Collection Momentous Materials. These are case hits. These are starting from 2016. I started collecting them all the way up to 2024. Which is last year's set. Just some ones I added to them. I have probably about 40 of them. So we just added a few more this past couple weeks. Here's a 2016, I believe. 2016 Jeurys Familia. Mets closer for their World Series appearance, right? I believe. Josiah Gray, numbered, of course. These are all game used. These are numbers to 15. They're either numbered to 5, 10, or 15 over the years. 5, 10, or 15, okay? The only drawback on these, which kind of bums me out a little bit, is the sticker autograph. I stopped collecting sticker autographs. I just don't like them. But for this set, I make the exception. Everything else in my collection, you'll notice, is probably on card. I don't really do anything other than I don't do sticker autographs. It bothers me. But this set I love, so I make the exception. Whit Merrifield to 15. Again, these are all game-used patches. Griffin Jacks to 15, rookie. Noelvi Marte out of this year's museum to 15, rookie. Sterling Marte, back-to-back Martes to 15. Look at that patch. Corey Kluber to 5, 2019, I believe. Here's DJ LeMahieu, okay, to 15. Justin Upton with the crazy patch to 15. Randy Arozarena to 5. And Blake Snell to 5. Okay, so that's kind of, just adding to some sets. Actually, I have one more. We have one more set that I've been going through. These are the Flair Greats of the Game. This is a big stack. Greats of the Game. Let's start off with the Sports Illustrated 1999s. Okay, Ed Kranepool, Goose Gossage, Lenny Moore. As you see, I collect all the sports, so not just baseball. Earl Morrall. Okay, Chuck Bednarik. Garo Upremian, kicker for the Dolphins. Anthony Munoz, left tackle, Hall of Fame. Jim Plunkett. Okay, Don Maynard. Steve Largent. Paul Splittorff. Jim Lomborg. Al Hrabowski. Roy White. Dick Williams. Johnny Padres. Vida Blue. Steve Garvey. Jerry Kuzman. My dad's gonna love this card. I think he has this actually signed. The actual Sports Illustrated signed. Okay, I might be wrong about that. I know he has that Sports Illustrated, I believe, that cover. Orlando Cepeda, Maury Wills. This is now 2000. Ron Guidry. These are 2001s. Hank Bauer. Bucky Effin Dent. Ron Say. Frank Howard. Bill Mazeroski. Vida Blue. Jim Rice. Don Sutton. Gaylord Perry. Cepeda. Billy Williams. Ralph Kiner. Okay, so that's that. Now let's get into I broke them down into values, okay? And I'm going to start off with the, $1 to $10 ones, and we'll go on from there. All right, we have a nice stack of cards that you can get for under $10, as you see here. Big stack, okay? We're going to run through these real quick, all right? Here's an Allen and Ginter Mark Feinsand. He's a sports writer. Mini. Jack Cuss Mini. Here's a dual. Look at this. Tony Womack, Scott Spezio, Stadium Club dual auto. Dan Herron on the Fresh Ink. Sammy Watkins on the Rookie Elite. Okay. Ian Desmond on the Triple Threads to 75, Triple Patch. Vernon Wells. Austin Wells Rookie. Cole Raggins Rookie. Dontrell Willis to 50. Joe Adai to 150. David Johnson had a couple big years. Okay. Out of Tops. All right, on the Yankees Classic, Pride of New York, Tommy John, Jason Kendall on the Archives, Mel Stottlemyre, okay, on the Yankee Classics, Dorsey Levens. I love this set. Pros and Prospects, on-card auto patch. Here's a dual, Otis Anderson, Rodney Hampton. Okay, there's a Topps Archives. I believe this is 04. Bobby Richardson, Stephen Davis on the impeccable patch auto on card. Jake Long, #1 pick out of the Dolphins. Patch, National Treasures, the auto. TJ Hushman-Zada paired well with Chad Johnson. That was a couple, big years that they had with Andy Dalton at the quarterback, right? They didn't win nothing, though. Gaylord Perry, okay. Ahmad Rashad. You guys probably know him from, CBS shows, right? Hosting. He was actually a football player, obviously, with the Vikings, all right? National Treasures. TJ Friedel out of Inception to 249. Jake Plummer, okay. Again, these are in the, under $10 range, maybe max $12. Dylan Cease out of Topps Chrome. Hank Bauer, Vida Blue. Max Meyer out of Inception with the nice patch, rookie patch. Andrew Abbott, rookie out of Topps Black Chrome. Chris Chambers, rookie patch auto. All right, he was a nice receiver for the Dolphins in the 2000s. Brandon Belt out of Allen Ginter Mini. Moises Alou out of Don Ross Signature Series 97. DJ LeMahieu at Allen and Ginter Mini. Aaron Nola 5-star. All right. Gil McDougall. Mickey Rivers, Hanley Ramirez out of Archives to 34. Palmero to 299, 5-star. Tex out of 5-star, tier 1, sorry. Darrell Evans out of Archives. We got J.D. Martinez out of Triple Threads with the patch. Hunter Pence out of Triple Threads with the, says Bam Bam with the patch bat. Dave Stewart with the bronze pen out of 25, tier 1. Rip Hamilton, okay, looks like a rookie auto, upper deck. Gail Goodrich, impeccable to 25. Okay, that's like I said, the $10, $12 range. Here we're gonna move on to about the $20 range here. Okay, again, we're gonna run through these till we get to the bigger cards, of course, and we'll slow down a bit. Okay, $20 range. Don Maynard, Brad Maynard. Okay, Torrey Hunter to 18, Triple Threads. Whoops. Josh Hart, Fast Break, Optic. Okay. National Treasures, Lasting Legacy, Dale Ellis. Brent Rooker, Rookie, Allen and Ginter Mini. Matt Kemp, Patch Auto out of Upper Deck. Jason Terry out of Impeccable to 99. Torkelson out of Heritage. Henry Ellard out of Impeccable Patch Auto. Tim Rock Reigns out of Definitive to 40. This is more like probably like a $30 card. I don't know how it got in this pile. Josh Allen, not the right Josh Allen, but Josh Allen. Josh Hines Allen to 99. And Fergie Jenkins on card auto. Okay. What else we got here? We got a Aramis Ramirez out of Signature Series, but this is actually numbered to 100. So that's a more sought after card. We have National Treasures. All right. Patch auto to 99. Stanley Johnson with the Pistons. Nice player for a couple of years. Another nice player for a couple of years. Running back Latavius Murray out of Flawless to 25. Okay. Lance Stevenson out of Panini 101 to 49. Patch auto. Another Triple Threads. This is Luis Robert to 36. All right, with the bat and the patch. Here's Guidry out of Upper Deck, Pride of New York. Here's Andy Pajes out of Allen and Ginter Mini. And here's Elvin Hayes out of 99 Flawless National Treasures 1 and 2. All right. All right. What else we got? Let's see. Again, $20 range. Juan Gonzalez to 25 out of Diamond Icons this year. Priest Holmes out of Autographics. That's a cool one. With the Ravens too. Not with the. He's known for the Chiefs, obviously, right? Glenn Rice out of 49 out of Cornerstones, the quadruple patch. Bruce Sutter out of Archives. Al Horford out of Panini 101. All right. Let's go on to about the $30 range, and then we'll get on to the better stuff. Okay. All right. Brian Buxton, gold to 50. Patch auto. Reese Hoskins, to 25 with the cool patch. All right. Leonard Fournette to 10, patch auto. Glenn Big Dog Robinson to 250 autographics. Those are rare. Look at this patch. Shelby Miller to 10 with the crazy patch, Triple Threads. George Hill, immaculate on-card auto with the probably 5-color patch. And Aparicio, Topps Archives. Okay. Jack Youngblood with 3 patches out of Pros and Prospects. Brandon Belt out of Triple Threads. I think that's his son, Grayson. I don't know how he got his son's name on this card. But Scott Rowland out of 5-star to 40. Adrian Beltre out of Don Ross 98, I think, on card. Christian Leitner out of National Treasures to 25 with the 4-color patch. Juan Marichal, 2011 Topps Tribute to 75. Ed McCaffrey, flawless, with the patch and the auto to 25. Vlad Guerrero, this is number to 1,000, Don Ross Signature Series. Okay, and Steve Carlton out of Absolute Patch Auto. All right, let's make a little bit of room here, and we're going to go on to last bit of stuff, all right? Again, this is more probably $30 to $40 range. We have a Larry Walker Triple Threads to 18. A Fergie Jenkins odd card auto out of Topps Archives. A Zach Wheeler out of Heritage on card auto. A Drew Bledsoe Silver Prism auto. An Alex Bregman out of Definitive with the giant patch to 25. Max Fried out of Allen and Ginter. Craig Biggio out of Museum Collection. Okay. Number to 25. Jimmy Graham out of Panini 1 to 49. Look at those 4 patches. That's incredible. Okay. Piece of a shoe. Mike Miller out of Crown Royal to 12. Kyle Tucker out of Diamond Icons to 50. Okay. Alonzo Mourning out of Timeless Treasures Donruss to 49. Look at that patch. That's a cool card. Chris Bosh, rookie, patch, auto. This is only like a $40 card. That was surprising to me. Okay. Craig Biggio to 25 with the red ink out of Tier 1. Marshall Faulk out of National Treasures to 49. Patch auto. Carlton Fisk out of 9 on the archive buyback. Okay. We'll get now to the $50 range-ish. And then we'll end it with a couple bangers. Okay. Here's Flawless Trent Green, okay, with the triple color patch. Here's a Paul Pierce out of 49, Virtuoso on card auto. This is a game used patch, Jordan Clarkson, National Treasures. That's really cool. All right. Here's a Pudge out of Museum Collection to 25. Again, this is the 50 to, we'll get up probably to the $75, $80 range by the end of this pile. This is a quadruple patch, Josh Jacobs to 25. Here's a Chris Carter out of Incredible on card auto. Here's an Isaac Bruce rookie auto out of SP. Okay, here's a Guerrero Vladdy Senior to 75. Okay, here's a Flawless nice patch to 25, Miles Turner. All right. Here's a Luis Arias out of Museum Collection to 15. All right. We have another triple threads. Carlton Fisk out of, I believe this is out of 9. Yep, out of 9. 11-time All-Star. We have a Burt Blyleven out of Luminaries. 5 shutouts. I believe that's probably a season record for them. Game used memorabilia. Okay. There's a DeMontis Sabonis quadruple patch out of Cornerstones to 49. Here's a Polar Bear out of Diamond Icons to 25. This one doesn't want to get off camera. That's a purple foil Andrew Jones autographics. Okay. Here's a Flawless Keyshawn, #1 pick, to probably 49. Oh, it says it right. To 15, actually. All right. Here's a Phil Rizzuto Sweet Spot Yankee Great to 173. We have a Barry Larkin with the bronze ink to 25. A Jason Kidd at an Ultimate Collection. Okay. There's another Sports Illustrated 99, Gary Carter. As you see, I saved the. I don't always show them in the set itself because I saved the bigger ones for later. So here's another one of those. This is 2000, Brooks Robinson, Greats of the Game. All right. Here's a 2011, another one, Topps Tribute, Willie McCovey to 99. All right. Another Greats of the Game, 2000, Willie McCovey. This is interesting. This is looks like a buyback. Mattingly Glaber to 10. All right. Obviously, with Glaber on it, it completely reduces the value of that card, but you get a Mattingly auto for $60. You can't go wrong. And here's a Flawless Cornelius Bennett to 10. Look at that patch. Okay. All right. Couple more cards that are still under 100-ish. Here's a Flawless Tiki Barber to 15. All right. Love Tiki. Big Giants fan. Here's a Scott Rowland to 5. Look at that patch. With the Blue Jays. You don't really remember him as a Blue Jay. I kind of like that, though. And there's a Big Poppy to 15 on the Museum Collection. Okay. And again, last card that's under 100 or 100 right on the button is a Manny Machado to 50 with the sick patch out of Tribute. All right. All right. Now here's why we came here. Here's the bigger stuff. Okay. Actually, we do have, a couple more cards in the 100-ish range. All right. A couple more. Here's Barry Larkin this is about a 50 range, to 36, NL MVP 95. This was a steal in my opinion. This is like a $70 card. To 10, Sterling, Mike Schmidt with the 4 patches, 1 bat, 3 patches. I mean, that was a steal. All right. Here is the bigger stuff, like I said. Let's start off with a Yogi Berra Epic Signatures, all right, on card. Next, we have, again, a momentous material. I pulled this one for later, obviously. Trey Turner to 5. Here's another museum collection. This is with the silver ink to 15 Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt. Again, these are the 100 to 125 range, I would say. All right. Adley Rushman on the Diamond Icons to 25. All right. Okay, and we got about 10 cards left, so these are the biggest ones. Here's a to 5 museum collection momentous materials. Again, the set I collect. Fred McGriff, the Crime Dog. All right, recent Hall of Fame. Okay. Here's a Topps Dynasty John Smoltz to 10. These cards, Dynasty is a really, really tough set to get affordably. I probably bid on at least one of these a day, and I never get them because I try to get them under 150, but these are really tough to get under 150. This is Smoltz. All right. Here's a museum collection. Manny Machado with the piece of a base. This sticker, when you see it on whenever you see this sticker, it means you can type in that code. It'll tell you where it's actually from. It'll tell you what game this base was used in. Here's a Machado. This is number 2. I think this is 10 or 5. Okay, not sure. All right. Here's a Kyle Schwarber triple threads to 9. It says Derby Dingers. Okay. This is a short print out of 2000. Flare grades of the game stand the man usual. Here's a dual auto Tomey and Thomas, number to 25. Another one of those bases. Look at that. It's got actual like dirt on it. Schwarber to 5. Okay, museum collection. All right, here's the final 5 cards. This is why we came here. 5 or 6 cards. You ready? Here's a Transcendent out of 15. Bryce Harper, PSA 9. All right, on-card auto, of course. Flawless with the double patch. Terrell Owens to 25. That is nice. All right. Here's a 101. Frank Thomas out of triple thread. Says Chicago Homers. Okay, 101. Here's a Roger Staubach. This set is great. It's got some of the biggest quarterback names you can get. I'm trying to get a couple more of these. Elway, Marino, Namath, Bart Starr. It's got all the biggest names. So this is early 2000s, so you don't have Brady yet or anything like that. So all the greats. Number to 400. Okay. Last 3 cards. There's another Mike Trout out of Momentous Materials. Museum Collection. Number to 15. Okay. PSA 8. That's okay. All right. Last 2 cards. Here's, wow. Eli Manning. My hero as a football fan, of course. This is his rookie card, number to 499. This is not a pack pulled autograph. It was signed after the fact. Number to 499, his gold auto. Gold card with the auto. It's got the seal, but under the seal, it's number to 499. Eli Beckett authenticated. And here's, last but not least, my favorite player of all time. Not even from one of my home teams, but I loved growing up watching him. This is Barry Bonds out of Sweet Spot, number to 380. This is a huge card, okay? Still in its authentication. Barry Bonds, baby. He's the all-time great. I don't care what anybody says. He is the best. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This is Baseball King Collectibles. I am the Baseball Prince. Hopefully we have another pickup video coming in a few weeks. Check that out. Check out my other, I believe it's now 3 other pickup videos to watch. I also have signed WWF Hasbros to look out for. And of course, the Baseball King has plenty of other stuff to show as well with his videos and his shorts. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. Hope to see you soon. Have a great day. Take care.